and welcome to a nice neck and shoulder stretch for you today. My name's Lucy and that little man walking around is Moose, and I'm going to be taking you through a nice quick and gentle neck and shoulder stretch for you to do anytime and anywhere. So to begin, finding yourself either kneeling or seated, it doesn't matter which one, just make sure you're comfortable and it's a position that you're happy in for a while. Please use any props that you would like to use, so a cushion to pop in between your bottom and your heels, or maybe any blocks to lift yourself a bit higher if you are seated. Once you are in your comfortable position, closing down your eyes and starting to breathe in and out through your nose. Your hands can just be resting on your thighs, or maybe they're down by your side. And try to just bring your attention and your mind to your breath. We won't be here for very long, but at the start of everything we do, it's good to give ourselves time just to bring our minds to our mats and make sure that we're in the right headspace to give ourselves this time today. Taking another few breaths, inhaling nice and deep, and exhaling. Let's go for one more of those. And then on your next exhale, you can start to blink your eyes open, or if you'd rather keep them closed, then by all means go ahead and do so. Let's start to roll our shoulders back. So it doesn't matter where your arms are, they can hang by your sides or stay on your thighs. Really think about lifting your shoulders up to your ears, taking a nice circle down and back. Lovely. Let's go for two more of those. And then we'll take that forwards, circling them forwards. Don't worry about what your arms are doing, just think about the movement of your shoulder, making a nice big circle. Great. One more, and then we'll just bring our hands back to resting down by our sides or resting on your thighs. Dropping your chin down to your chest, and then taking a nice circle with your nose to look over your shoulder. And then we're going to repeat that the other side, so really keeping your chin tucked in as you look down and up over the other shoulder. Let's go for that another couple of times. Try and make a nice slow, big movement here. One more time on each side. Again, working with the breath, focusing on your breathing in and out through your nose. And then bring your chin into your chest. And this time we're going to drop our ear to our shoulder. So really letting your head hang heavy. Really think about pulling your shoulder down and away. Don't try and bring your shoulder up to your ear. Doesn't matter how much space you have here. And let's go to the other side. Shoulder to ear, or opposite ear to opposite shoulder, sorry. Same ear to same shoulder, but we're going on the opposite side. Okay. And one more time each side. If you want to, you can press that hand down and away. So the opposite hand to the side your ear is falling down to. Press your hand down and away. And swap sides. Lovely. If you are pressing your hand down, you're really pulling your fingertips up. You might feel this all the way up your arm, maybe into your shoulder. And then coming back to center. Lovely. I want us to just simply draw a line up and down with our nose. So you start by taking your nose down and then looking up. And just repeating that action a few more times. Looking up. And back down one more time. Great. Then just bring your head back to center, gazing forwards, and I want you to walk your hands forwards so your chest is resting on your thighs. If you're seated, you can do exactly the same thing. You can let your forehead come down to rest on the floor.
Hold it here for 3, 2, 1, and then walking yourself back up nice and slowly.
So we're coming up to seated again. Fab. We're going to roll forwards, so just simply taking your body forwards, putting your hands down, so we're on our hands and knees in our tabletop position. If you were kneeling, then maybe just give your ankles a bit of a shake out. You might like to tuck your toes and sit back on them. And then when you're ready, we will meet with our toes untucked, fingers spread wide, pressing into the ground. And we're just going to work through some nice simple cat-cows here. So drawing your shoulders down and back as you lower your stomach and look ahead. Then we round our spine, tucking our tailbone under, pushing the ground away from us and looking back towards our knees or maybe even our belly button. Lovely, repeating that. Inhale as you drop your belly. You can look forwards or you might like to start looking further up. Then exhale as you round your spine. Really think about bringing your head in between your arms. Tucking that stomach in so that you can create a lovely arch. Nice, keep it moving. You can move faster than me if you want to. Looking forwards, inhale. Exhale, round your spine. And then we'll just bring ourselves back to neutral. Once you're in neutral, we'll tuck our toes and lift our bottom high, coming into a downward facing dog. We're not going to be here for too long. When you are in your downward facing dog, I want you to take some shakes and nods of your head. So shaking your head yes, nodding your head no. Sorry, nodding your head yes and shaking your head no. Great, just really let your neck move around. Lovely, and then we'll just bring ourselves up to standing at the top of our mat. So bending your knees, looking towards the top of your mat and walking your feet up towards your hands. If you want to hold your forward fold, you can, or if you'd rather just bend your knees and slowly roll up to standing, then we'll meet standing at the top of our mat. As you come up to standing, roll your shoulders down and back, and then lift your head. Great, we're going to do a few movements up in our standing position. So keeping your hands facing the front of the room and taking your feet about hip width apart. Simply going to reach over to one side. Really think about pulling your hand down, reaching those fingertips to the floor, and let your head drop over as you do so. And then lifting back up to center, and we'll go on the other side. So reach, reach, reach down. This opposite shoulder that isn't reaching, it will automatically lift up obviously, but we don't want to lift it up any higher than necessary. So you're still thinking about pulling that hand down, but your focus is your arm that's reaching towards the floor. And lifting back up. Lovely, let's go again. If you want to, you can look down towards the floor or you could look up towards the ceiling. One more time, reaching your hand down. I find it really nice to look up towards the ceiling. It feels good on my neck, but do what feels good for you. Then back up to center. Give yourself a little bit of a shake. And let your body just spin around. Just really let your arms go and let your body spin around a bit. Some nice gentle twists. Keep a nice bend in your knees. Just let your feet move as they do naturally. So no need to stop them. If you want to get your head involved, you can look back over your shoulder as you do this. Just be careful you don't get dizzy though. It's surprising how easily you can get dizzy with this sort of thing. Fab. Okay, and then let yourself come back to standing. I'm just going to take some nice big arm circles. So keeping your arms nice and straight, really reaching up and back, creating the biggest circle you possibly can. Reach it back. Lovely. We're keeping our arms straight all the way to our fingertips. So sometimes it's tempting just to let your hands kind of flop around, but make sure they're still nice and strong. Then let's change direction. Sweeping your arms forwards, And as you're doing this, just take a moment to notice your upper body. So sometimes we let our body move and we round and we arch it to try and get more of a movement. That's not what we're aiming for. So really try and keep your body nice and still as you do this. So you're just working into your shoulders. Great. And then on your next circle, I want you to just stop with your arms out at shoulder height. Great. We're going to take a nice simple exercise. So crossing one arm over your chest and then hooking the opposite arm. And just trying to encourage that your arms a little bit closer into your body. Great. Remember to breathe, it's really important. Trying to breathe in and out through your nose if you can. And then reaching your arms back out to the side, and we'll go with the opposite arm crossing over our chest and hooking. When you hook your arm, make sure you do it around, not over the elbow, so do it either side of your elbow. We don't want to be hooking onto our elbow. Great. Again, this straight arm is engaged. We're not letting it just go all floppy. We're keeping it strong and long. Great. And then reaching both arms out to the side. Let them drop down by your sides. Give them another little shake. And we'll come into a final exercise. So I am going to turn around so that you can see what I'm doing. We're going to try and grab hold of opposite hands behind our back. So if you've got really tight shoulders, I'd suggest grabbing a strap. Otherwise, we start by taking our arms out by our sides. And we're going to circle one arm up and one arm down. And as you do this, I want you to keep thinking about lengthening your arms away from each other. Then you can start to bend them and try to reach so you can interlace your fingers. There's a few options here. If you can't quite interlace your fingers, you could grab hold of some clothing. Or if you grab a strap, this is a really helpful prop here, and you can grab hold of each end of the strap to help pull your arms slightly closer. So I'll just show you again. Again, it's really important here to think about our bodies. So we try and arch our spine we dip our spine, to try and grab our hands. We don't want to do that. Really keep your tummy tucked in, keep that pelvis tucked under. Let's go on the other side. So we reach our arms out to the side, reach one arm up, one arm down. That's going to really allow that shoulder joint to move. And then we interlace our fingers behind our back or use our prop or our strap. Holding it here for 3, 2, 1, and release your arms, bring them both down by your sides. And then we'll just finish in our mountain pose, so standing with your big toe joints together, little gap between your heel. Both hands facing the front of the room, and let's close down our eyes. If you're struggling with balance today, I'd suggest keeping your eyes open. If you'd like to, you can stand here with your chin slightly lowered. And breathing through your nose. Let's take another few breaths here. Really feel yourself grounding down into the mat. Feel all 10 toes pressing into the floor. You can roll your shoulders down and back one more time. And then when you're ready, we can blink our eyes open. And then we'll bring our hands together at heart center and say namaste. Thank you all for coming and joining me for this short video today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and check out other videos if you haven't done so already. And I'm always here if you want to drop me a message. I'd love to connect with you and have a chat about absolutely anything, and I'll always do my best to help if you've got any yoga questions. So have a fabulous day. Thanks for joining.